This is a very critical week for Bitcoin. It has to break certain resistance levels, moving upwards to continue the bull market momentum, or it may find itself in a bear market. Now, what the hell is happening with Ripple? I want to talk about Chris Larsen, his support for Kamala Harris, Ripple's pivot away from ODL and going to stablecoins, and much more. And Chuck Schumer has not included crypto in his plans to pass crypto regulations by the end of the year. This is a big 180 from what he recently said on the Crypto for Harris live stream town hall. We're going to break this down and much more. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Okay, folks, let's talk about Bitcoin because this is a very critical week for Bitcoin. Right now, it's at $55,000 at the time of recording. We are still waiting for Bitcoin to find its bottom in this consolidation that's been going on for 6 months now. We're waiting for that bottom and the bounce upwards so we can keep moving upwards. But as I've been sharing with you guys, seasonality-wise, September is horrible for markets, not just crypto, but the stock market as well. So we have to make it through this month. And then come October, the start of Q4, we've seen historically that has done well for markets. Now, there's no certainties here. There's no guarantees. We're talking probabilities based on data and seasonality and what history has told us. So this week, though, Bitcoin has to start moving upwards and break 60,000, which is a key resistance level, and to position itself in a better place to continue the bull market run up. So fingers crossed that that happens. There is a bullish scenario here and a bearish scenario. We can't ignore either of them, but we have to look at which one has the higher probability of playing out. Now, I believe the bullish scenario has the higher probability of playing out based on data, not my emotions. And I'll share some interesting stats here. First is the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator. This has been an indicator that is flagged when the 100-day moving average crosses the 350-day moving average, and that has signaled the top of the past bull market cycles. Now we're close, but we have not crossed this yet. So it shows that this thing is not over as yet. Also, data from Sentiment, which is a partner of the channel. You can check out the link in the description to learn more about them. They are showing that Bitcoin whales, wallets with 100 to 1,000 Bitcoins, are on the rise. So whales are accumulating, they're buying. The data doesn't lie here, right? And we saw that going back to March into May, where a lot of people were selling that local top, so to speak, where people were selling into that run up to about 73,000. That was a kind of buy the rumor, sell the news event with that ETF launch, right? And at that point, a lot of dumping was happening. So you're seeing the wallet addresses went down, and we saw the price subsequently followed. But since that sell the news event, there has been accumulation, folks. So the whales know the pattern, right? A lot of retailers scared right now. There's a lot of fear. That's the time to buy. And then when things get euphoric, that's the time to sell. I hope you are following that methodology as well. And here, Julian Biddle of Global Macro Investors shared a great chart showing a fractal from 2019. And it's eerily similar with what's taking place right now, but it shows a bounce coming towards the end of September into October, folks. So the market cycle is playing out here. He said this year's Bitcoin price structure is starting to look eerily similar to 2019. Take a close look at the chart. It's almost a perfect fractal of what we saw back then. Bitcoin has been stuck in a consolidation phase, and interestingly, just like in 2019, this consolidation has lasted exactly 175 days so far. We're now approaching that critical juncture where things could start moving in a big way. The next week will be incredibly important to watch. All eyes on how Bitcoin reacts as we hit this potential inflection point. Does it follow the 2019 script, or do we see a deviation this time around? Let's see. If the fractal holds, we could be looking at some serious upside momentum coming. So I hope he's right. I hope that my thesis is right as well. But as stated before, there's no guarantee here. I don't have a crystal ball. Neither does Julian. Neither do you, right? But investing, we at least form a thesis based on the data and the facts and the metrics, not our feelings and emotions. That's not what I'm conveying here. If it was up to my feelings and emotions, Bitcoin would hit $200,000 tonight and I take profits, right? And all coins will rip and follow Bitcoin, of course. So, but obviously our emotions don't control anything here, and our emotions can get us wrecked because whales and smart money and bots and algorithms know the market psychology and how human psychology plays out in markets. So you do not want to be part of the herd. You want to be a contrarian to the herd. So guys, I am still bullish. I believe the bullish scenario has the higher probability of playing out. And I hope I'm right. I hope Julian is right here. And pretty soon we start to see some movement. And as I stated, Bitcoin has to break that 60K or be around that 60K range to get out of this slump, so to speak, so you can start building support levels to move upwards. So fingers crossed, my friends. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain, which is one of the top enterprise blockchains out in the industry, folks. Many brands and companies are using VeChain to build Web3 and decentralized app ecosystems and a lot of different solutions and products. I've been a VET token holder for years. I'm very bullish on this project. Some of the great key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it is secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the companies working with VeChain include PwC, one of the top 4 accounting firms in the world, Walmart China, BMW, Sam's Club. They are also working with Boston Consulting Group. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, I'm sure some of you saw a lot of big news around Ripple over the past few days. And first being that Ripple co-founder and executive chairman Chris Larsen signed a letter endorsing Kamala Harris for president. Now, of course, he's getting ripped by a lot of the Trump people and even some of the crypto industry who are like, yeah, this is not a good thing because Kamala Harris has not pledged her support for crypto. Under the Joe Biden administration, there's been an all-out attack and war led by Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler. So I've been on this podcast saying I'm waiting for Elizabeth Warren to show us where she stands. Show me, don't tell me, right? I've been saying that nonstop. And I've been saying Donald Trump is a clear leader when it comes to this. And the amount of money that was raised by crypto is starting to influence elections. We're seeing it in the primaries. We saw it on Super Tuesday and so forth. So Chris doing this, though, doesn't really bother me per se. Here's why. I believe that there are macro factors that will drive the price of Bitcoin and crypto and assets up. And I've been sharing that with you guys: global liquidity, the lowering of rates, and much more. So I don't necessarily care who he votes for. He's an adult. Would it have been better if he simply didn't say anything publicly like this? Yeah, especially that Ripple is a company within the crypto industry that is trying to fight the SEC and has been fighting for years, right? So it's almost like he's shooting himself in the foot. But then I have to think that there are other reasons people vote in these presidential elections. Crypto is not the biggest issue, obviously. It is an important issue for many people, but it's not the biggest one. And who knows what Chris is voting for here. And I think historically, he's been on the left-leaning side of things. So I'm not losing any sleep about this. I controversially had tweeted out, over the years about Chris that he doesn't seem to be doing much to help the company. In fact, when he pops up in the news, he's doing something that is controversial and goes against the mission of the company. Like when he donated to Greenpeace to make Bitcoin leave proof of work. And I'm just like, dude, really? Like, and then he got his wallets hacked. And it's like, you're a multi-millionaire. Why don't you have top of the level security, right? And then these things don't help Ripple. So I don't personally care who he votes for. I just don't like that he did this. It's a bad look, I think, for Ripple and for the crypto industry. Now, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has been doing a bit of a media tour talking about their upcoming stablecoin launch. And he said it's going to be issued in weeks, not months. So that's the RLUSD stablecoin. We'll see how it does, right? There are some big established players in the market already with Circle USDC, Tether USDT, PayPal stablecoin, and the folks at VanEck recently launched AUSD. So we'll see how it does. He did make some statements about adoption of stablecoins in Japan. Talking to the folks at Bloomberg, he said people will want to hold yen stablecoins, and I think that is only a matter of time, Garlinghouse said in an interview on Bloomberg's The China Show on September 7th. So what's happening here? Remember that SBI Group is invested in Ripple, right? And SBI already has the infrastructure in Japan. Japan is a bit more forward thinking when it comes to crypto. They have some clarity there. So it makes sense for them to start it there. And obviously, I don't think they want to necessarily do it in the US, which is already very competitive. So I think it makes sense for them to do this given the bank partnership they have there, the clarity that's there. And there's not already a major player, with a stable coin there. And obviously, they're going to expand to other jurisdictions, but it's a good place to start, once again, given the infrastructure with SBI. So we'll see how that goes. And what's interesting is that we just got a report on September 6th that Japan's 3 major banks to test cross-border stablecoin transfer platforms. So this is interesting. MUFG, SMBC, and Mizuho banks will trial a stablecoins platform to facilitate cross-border transfers. The initiative, dubbed Project Pax, will be run by blockchain firms including Progmat, DataChain, and Toki, with expected participation from banks worldwide. So this is interesting, guys, and maybe this is part of what Ripple is trying to, get their foot in the door here and give SBI an advantage because their competitors, MUFG and so forth, are looking to do this. So I think there's many layers to this onion and what's taking place here. But let's see what Ripple's able to pull off here, because some people are calling them out saying, hey, you're pivoting away majorly from your strategy of ODL and so forth. And we have to watch this closely. But if they're able to get adoption of their stablecoin and get more tokenization on the XRP ledger, that would be really good. So some interesting news here. Now, folks, Eleanor Turret of Fox Business just reported today that Senator Chuck Schumer sent a letter to his Senate colleagues where he mentioned priorities for passing bipartisan legislation in the remaining months of Congress. Cryptocurrency legislation was not mentioned, but artificial intelligence was. Now, just about a month ago, I remember sharing the clip with you guys. Schumer said he's ready to get crypto legislation through by the end of the year. Why would he not include it here? So this is disappointing, a big backtracking, but if this is how the Democrats want to play it, and Kamala Harris as well, they're going to feel it in the polls. And they had the opportunity, but if this is what they want to do, you make your bed, you will lay in it. So Donald Trump has the clear advantage here. That's not my feelings or emotions. That's the facts based on what is happening here. And this is disappointing from Chuck Schumer because he did make some big statements and he did take some action with Sob 121 and rallying Democrats to get Fit 21 out of the House, obviously not through the Senate, but it's disappointing that they did not include cryptocurrency legislation here. Now, speaking of cryptocurrency legislation, crypto advocates to rally in Washington, D.C. alongside the chain smokers for the upcoming Stand with Crypto Day. So many of you know Stand with Crypto is that big movement led by Coinbase and so forth to help bring education to members of Congress, to help bring clarity to the industry. So the September 18th event will come at the heels of a bus tour called the America Loves Crypto Tour, which visited 5 swing states. Crypto has become a hotly contested election issue for the industry. So those who are against crypto are losing. Those who are for, and that includes Democrats and Republicans, and I want to be fair, have been winning. So it's great to see crypto making a big push here. So here's some more details. The 5 swing states, including Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, is part of the tour. Here's a quote. Our second Stand with Crypto Day will be the last stop in our swing state tour around the country, rallying and registering crypto voters to vote, said Sabrina Siddiqui, if I'm saying that right, a Stand with Crypto spokesperson in a statement. We know that crypto voters can make a difference in the battleground states up and down the ballot this cycle, and we're excited to talk about these voters with policymakers in DC. So really great initiative. I think this is smart. And like I said before, those Democrats don't make the move, they're going to feel it. Now, some good news. Kalshi, which I honestly have not heard about before, cleared to offer congressional prediction markets in victory against the CFTC. With 2 months to go before the election, the U.S. regulated platform may now get a sliver of the 2024 political betting bonanza that's being dominated by crypto-based rival Polymarket. So a lot of these prediction markets, guys, are starting to ramp up, and it's fascinating. I remember reporting to you all that Bloomberg started including the poly market data for the elections, and I think this is the future, right? These decentralized betting platforms and prediction markets that use crypto, really, really interesting. And like I said, I never heard about Kalshi, but it looks like they won their federal lawsuit against the CFTC over the plan to offer contracts on which party will control each house of Congress after the November election. So fascinating stuff here, guys. And I recently did an interview with Rain Wu, who is the founder of Predex, and they are an AI prediction market. So I think this is the future, guys, and in the way the world is going to work, and these global marketplaces where anybody in the world can bet, and because of it's running on the blockchain, it's 24/7. It's using crypto, so it's going to move very fast. This seems like it's going to be part of how markets work in the future. Final news item here, guys. It appears the Treasury has something to hide, and this is related to Operation Choke Point 2.0. So Dan Spuller of the Blockchain Association tweeted out, following a FOIA request from Bloomberg investigative reporter Jason Leopold, Treasury Department Secretary Wally Adeyemo, you may recognize that name, he's a Warren crony, has released a 2-page letter today, dated March 12th, sent to members of the Senate Banking and the House Financial Committee. For the bad news, U.S. Treasury refuses to release the report that, according to the journal, claims it is investigating $165 million in crypto transactions linked to Hamas. Now, you remember this FUD, right? That they tried to put out that there was a ton of crypto being used by Hamas and so forth. And we saw that was debunked, right? But of course, Elizabeth Warren didn't apologize or anything like that, but she was the one trying to drum that up. And of course, her puppet on the string, one of her staffers here, Wally, he was trying to push that narrative as well. And of course, they don't want to release anything. They don't want to show you the details because they have stuff to hide, right? They're lying. And the same thing with the SEC. They try to hide things, and they don't want to show you because they know they're going to get exposed, because there's been a clear agenda by Elizabeth Warren, and she's pulling the strings with all her cronies in different parts of the government, folks. And I'm not making this stuff up. I spoke to people in Washington, D.C., and they told me about this. So Wally is a Warren disciple. So that's why he's got a lot to hide here, it seems like. Well, folks, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Let me know what you guys think about all these situations and what Bitcoin may do this week. Don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free. Also, be sure to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. It's also available on barnesandnobles.com. Buy a copy to support the podcast. Buy a few copies for your friends and family. It makes a great gift. If they want to learn about crypto, this will be a great book for them. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review on Amazon. It will really help me out, or Barnes & Noble, wherever you bought it. It will help out my ranking. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.